So this is an interesting thing. You see these pictures of the Earth, and sometimes you'll see like Google Earth's ocean features, and you think the seafloor is all mapped. And the fact is it's not. We've not even mapped 25% of the world's seafloor to a modern standard, meaning multi-beam sonar and GPS navigation. 75% of the Earth's seafloor is basically uncharted territory, and it's even crazier for the volume of the ocean. Barely 5% of the ocean volume has ever been explored with a remotely operated vehicle.
5%?
5%, yeah. So like that much volume, we don't even know what's out there. I get this email on the Navy's secret network, and the email was sent to all the subordinate commanders. Urgent safety of flight issue. We are having numerous near midair collisions, and if we don't stop it, we're going to have to cancel the exercise. And attached to the video was the now famous leaked Go Fast video. F-18 pilots captured video of this UAP zorching over the water. There's no flight control surfaces or propulsion means that are visible. It's just a little round sphere. And I knew right then and there that was not ours. We don't have technology like that. I was read into a lot of SAPs, and we would never do that in a training range. I also have been read into all of our adversaries' capabilities. I knew that nobody else had that. But the next day, that email was wiped from my computer. We all knew, okay, someone just touched a SAP and they got rid of it, and we can't talk about it. Think about that. We could have had planes falling out of the sky, but we're not going to talk about it because of this overclassification. They don't want the public to know that there really is a crash retrieval program and that we are monitoring UAP in our airspace and water space. We can't control their actions, and we don't fully understand their intentions. That's a dangerous thing to leak to the public, and so they are deliberately falsifying it and exploiting people, making them appear as wackos, thus creating a stigma behind the whole scene, which has prevented serious scientific study.
The disinformation is just to discredit whoever is...
Yeah, and it's happening overtly today. That office is doing it. There are individuals who I will not name, who I believe are getting paid. Every day they get out online, and their number one job is to discredit these national authorities. People like Lou Elizondo, who was with the task force, the UAP task force. He is 100% who he says he is, and what he says he's seen and knows, I have total confidence in. He's an active target.
Do you think we could see any weather manipulation type weapons?
That's been studied.
It has?
Oh, yeah.
What has been studied?
Oh, the Air Force did this a while ago, using weather modification as a weapon. When you look at what a typhoon can do, that can certainly be an advantage in the Western Pacific with Taiwan.
How long ago did we start looking into weather manipulation?
Well, I don't remember the history exactly, but I know the Air Force did that after World War II. And I don't know too much of the science behind it. It seems to me that the scale would be really large in terms of cost. And then again, there's so much uncertainty in the Earth system in terms of predicting it. Again, I think you just need to research the hell out of that before you do anything.
Do you think that we have done any weather manipulation before?
I don't know. I probably would know too if we had, so I really doubt it. In my last job, I think I would have known. Navy submarines, they are incredibly vigilant in not interacting with the bottom when they can and other submarines and objects. They have these detailed procedures they call water space management, and they also have this protocol they call prevention of mutual interference, and they are religious about it. This will ruin your day. We've had submarine accidents in the past. We know we're seeing objects like the USS Omaha saw an object go in the water, a UFO, these other incidents like in Canada, and then there's other reports and classified information I know of overhead imagery that have seen these things. We don't want to do that. Plus, there are nuclear reactors on board. We don't need those things contaminating the water. All sorts of reasons to do our due diligence and not having submarines inadvertently hit something. But these things, they are roaming at will in our water space. Don't even know the full extent of how they're operating in the water space. How are we going to do against the Chinese in the Western Pacific, which is a matter of sooner rather than later? Think about this. The DoD has initiated this program called Replicator to prevent Taiwan from being invaded. They want to flood the Western Pacific with thousands of what they call attritable, all-domain autonomous systems. So kinetic things that can autonomously go and just saturate any kind of attempt to invade from the ocean. A civilian physicist. He was one of these people who was a civilian researcher in the UAP. in the New Mexico area, and the Air Force deliberately deceived him and exploited him and even broke into his house to make him believe that there was going to be an imminent alien invasion. He basically nearly went crazy. And the Air Force did that deliberately. And
What?
Yeah, the main perpetrator in the Air Force is a guy named Richard Doty. He's quite well known in the UAP circles, and that's what he did. And I can see that happening right now. You know this DoD UFO office called AARO? Mm-hmm. They recently released a report. Their report was looking at the historical of U.S. government's UAP involvement. Congress directed them to do this report, and they basically didn't do their job. It was a lot of errors. They missed a lot. They are deliberately not saying what they know and saying things that are patently untrue. In this report that Congress directed, they're not acknowledging what they know, and they're actually putting out false information. This is how much we don't know about the ocean. In 2020, I think it was, we had a fisheries biologist go down to Antarctica and discover a new species of killer whale that had never been seen. For example, when I was with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, we pronounced it NOAA. We had a program called the Ocean Exploration and Research Program with a dedicated ship, and it had a deep diving ROV, remotely operated vehicle, with high resolution cameras and other instruments, and we purposely go look for things. And every year we found new species, whether it be deep coral or new types of fish. So this isn't like just some small weird microbe.
Organism.
There's all sorts of things we've never seen before.
A new species of killer whales.
Yeah. Yep.
Man.
Yeah.